Hi guys, so I hope you enjoyed that lookbook. Starting off with the last pair of jeans you just saw, they're the simplest, so I thought I would do the first DIY on those. The style is an uneven hem look, and I just thought they would make these boring skinny jeans a bit more exciting. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just to cut off the hem. I'm just cutting it exactly where the hem finishes, so didn't need to measure this or anything. I'm now taking a ruler to see how much of a chunk I want to take out the jeans. I thought 4 centimeters was a good amount because it was definitely noticeable, but it wasn't too extravagant. I definitely recommend something between 4 to 6 centimeters. I wouldn't go under that because I don't think the jeans would be that noticeable. But I mean, obviously everything is up to personal preference. And then to make these jeans not look as clean cut as they actually are, I decided to take some tweezers and just distress them. I didn't want to do anything too dramatic, so I just took some tweezers and I aimed to take out some of the vertical threads. As you can see here, I kind of like the pattern of it. I thought it just gave an effortless, edgy look. So excuse my dog in the background, just wanting to be star of the show, but these are the jeans. So moving on to the second pair of jeans, I know for a fact these are not everyone's taste. I'm originally inspired by Victor and Rolf, so I've included some of their photos on the side. They're a very extravagant brand, but definitely one of my high-end favorites. So to do this, you want to create a weave. I'm just creating lines, making them 2 centimeters apart and just going down them vertically with a ruler. As you can see here, the lines aren't too long. Bear this in mind because you do want to make shorter patches compared to the longer ones. You'll see later in the video, but I have done a longer one for demonstration purposes. But to be honest, I kind of wish I had just kept with the small ones. Okay, so once you have all these vertical strips in there, you're going to want some material. I'm using some tulle and some denim. I've got white tulle, blue and holographic. So first of all, I'm just taking some denim and just weaving that, so just going in and out every other strip. Then I'm doing the opposite, going over the strips that I went under previously, and honestly, if you've never weaved, you'll get the hang of it so easily. I think most people will have, but you really just cannot go wrong with it. So like I said, I am taking denim and I am taking tulle. So to play around with things a bit, I flipped the denim inside out on some, and I did each layer differently. So I would go denim, tulle, and then once you get to the top, you're gonna think, no, I can't add any more, but trust me, you can add more. So you want to keep adding more till it is completely full, so you can't fit your fingers under anymore, because you don't want to put the jeans on and just not have enough material in there. It won't be a good look. So once you've done it all, you should have something which looks like this, kind of like an art project, but kind of fun at the same time. So to just get rid of a lot of these ends, I tie them together. I tie each strip which is next to each other together, obviously because some went under, some went over. If you tie these ones together, they are not going to budge. Then lastly, to clean things up, I'm just taking some scissors just to clean up the excess material, and this is what it looks like. They are very bold, like I said, not everyone's taste, but I thought they were fun and no one's gonna have anything like it. So this is why I said to do these smaller patches, because as you can see, I do have a bit of leg exposed compared to the other side. And then moving on to this last pair of jeans, I think these are my favourite. There's just something about them which is so fresh, just so laid back and so cool. A lot of shops sell them from high street to high end, so I thought, you know what, let's have a little go at DIY. So I cut the hems off these. I also wanted to make mine 3/4 length. These were already ankle grazers as it was, so I didn't need to cut too much off, but as you can see, I used one side as a template for the other. So after you've done this, you do just want to cut vertical lines. It is very simple, just make all the lines the same length. I'm making all my strips 1.5 centimeters long, and then as you can see, when I've hit the side seam, I am just cutting that out because you can't fray it, and it definitely is not a good look. It just doesn't go with the fraying. So I'm going to show you 2 ways you can fray now. The first way, you are going to need a hard surface, so I'm just using this clipboard. As you can see, it is a bit scratched, so make sure you're not working on a good surface, nothing that you want to ruin anyway. All you need to do is just scrape down with a fork. It's as easy as that. This is quite a lengthy process, so I would recommend watching TV, putting Netflix on whilst you're doing this. With this method, you can come into one problem if you don't scrape down enough, and that is just white thread bunching up. If this does happen, it's very easy to sort out. Just take some tweezers and you'll just have to individually pick some threads. So this next way of fraying I also like. I just varied mine up between them both. If I got bored of one method, I would go on to the other. So you kind of just hack at the side of it with some tweezers until you get something which is a bit frayed. Then all you want to do is just grab the ends, make sure the white ends are long enough, and just pull them out. It's as simple as that. Both methods do require a fair bit of time, but in my opinion they're definitely worth it. Lastly, this is a denim DIY, so I thought I would throw a choker in here as well. I'm just using a leftover trouser leg here. As you can see, they were very heavily worn, so I'm just making out a rectangle now. Measure your neck with a tape measure for where you think a choker would sit comfortably, and then add 2 centimeters on that. So the fraying method for this is much quicker than the previous ones I've shown. Because it is a long strip, it is much easier. So you want to go along the tips of the whole length of it, just scraping along until you get these long strands. Once you get those, you can easily just pull them out and sections will fray so fast. As you can see here, you can literally make this choker in about 5 minutes, probably 5 minutes max. It doesn't even take that long. As you can see, some of my fraying is longer than others. For me, it didn't really matter because the shorter part was going to get covered by the closure anyway. But if it does bother you, just keep fraying because you can always cut down the white. This has just happened because we've cut the material on an angle, but because it was scrap, it would have been really hard to prevent this in the first place. So once you've done all that, you should be left with something that looks like this. I really like it, however I did think it was a little bit too much of a clean cut, so to get the style that they have in shops, I did just put it in the wash and it just went a bit more ragged. So now you want to take some Velcro. Obviously you're going to need 2 different types. They all just come in the same packet. One is more scratchy and the other one is a bit more soft. So I measured 1 centimeter of this and used that as a guide for the next piece of Velcro. Then just measured that to size the choker. This was an adhesive Velcro, so once I made sure it fit, I just took off the backing, stuck it down, and it was easy as that. Obviously you've got to do the other side as well, so just flipped it over and put the other side on the back. It doesn't matter which sides go where as long as there are different on both areas. And there you have it, you've made a choker from scrap material, probably things that would have gone in the bin. So those are all of my DIYs for this video. Let me know which one you guys have liked the most and leave it in the comments down below. But that is everything, so thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. By the way, more of my DIYs are linked below. Bye guys.